created my sunroom and remodeled my kitchen. Bob Stein from Stein Home Solutions and Rob Montie from Meridian Homes.
When Susan and I first met, she had called me up asking me to do a roof quote for her. So when I came over to the home, our company does more than just put a roof on. We're more interested in knowing what the entire roof system is, ventilation, insulation. We like to know how long they plan on living in their home, other things about the home, so that we just don't do the roof and find out that they want to do something later where we have to undo the roof to tie something else into. So anyways, while we were talking, Sue had mentioned doing her siding. And we told her that we did siding, soffit fascia, gutters, anything on the outside of the home. And so we put numbers and things together for her. I told her to think about it with her husband. Susan was just a little nervous because doing this big of a project is, it's not like spending $5. So we wanted to make sure that we did everything right. So we met several times and finally we put everything together so that we could do the roof and siding. And when we completed the job, everything was settled up, and while we were talking, I always like to ask the customer what their next project might be. And she says, we're going to do a sunroom. And I says, well, I can help you with that. And I says, do you want to put on a stick-on sunroom or have one built so it looks like part of the home and like it belongs?
The sunroom was quite a challenge, particularly with the ceiling. The carpenter, Lee Helwig, just did an amazing job adjusting on the fly from the plans because some things changed when he had to get all 5 of those angles on the ceiling to line up. Every trade that was brought in was just excellent. I couldn't be more pleased. The tile man, Bob Faltz, the painting crew, the drywall guys, they were amazing. That's Mike Huckey. His men, they just work so hard and pleasant as the day is long. So it was a couple years later and I wanted to remodel my kitchen. I called Rob to see if he did remodeling because as far as I knew, that's all he did was build additions and homes. Well, lucky me, he was doing remodeling. So brought him in. He also had a lot of the same subcontractors still working for him, which increased my comfort level because this time everybody was going to be in the house rather than just outside. And once again, Lee Helwig led the crew with the cabinets and building out the wall for me and dropping down the ceiling. All the trades came back, Bob Faltz, but Mike Huckey. We had Proline painters in here. They were good too. We painted the entire room. We replaced the cabinets, new sink, new faucets, all new appliances, tops, backsplash. Again, Bob Faltz did that. And then finally, we did have a new contractor here, and that was Rick from
Lakeview Wood Floors.
Lakeview Wood Floors, and he did an excellent job refinishing the floors. All in all, once again, on time, on budget, and the great thing about both of these guys is that Rob, excellent communication, no problem. Anytime I had to adjust something, which wasn't too often, we met. Take out that never too often, okay? Anytime we had to adjust anything.
She changed her mind all the time.
I did. Anytime I had it, Rob was there. I knew what was happening when it was happening.
I like my customers to know what's going on at all times, and even though we oftentimes are, think we're understanding each other, we sort of speak different languages, and so I'll ask questions sometimes a little bit repetitively to make sure that we're really on the same plane with what we're doing on the job site, so we don't run into any unfortunate miscommunication on the as far as what we're doing. So it just makes everybody's job a whole lot easier if we get to do things once and do it the right way, which is the way we prefer. We had all our work staged so that one thing led to the other. We weren't waiting for windows or anything, and in fact, we had to kind of wait to see how we did the ceiling so we could size the skylights. But the skylights come out of Chicago, and we were able to get them up here relatively quickly and adjust the size and design according to how our eventual ceiling design ended up. With remodel, you have to be a little more flexible in terms of making things work. Things don't always go to plan. Sometimes they actually turn out better. So it's a little bit more of a tacit situation like that. But Bob had already done the roof, so he continued on the roof on the sunroom, and we ran the same siding on the outside of the house, so it doesn't look like an addition. It actually looks like it's always been there as part of the house.
And that's a key point. That was very important to me, that it didn't look like an add-in, that it looked integral. Integral. Remember that word?
Integral. Integrated.
Yes. With Bob's referral to Meridian Homes, we commenced building the sunroom, and they just did an excellent job. They were on time, on budget. They were clean. Each trade tidied up after themselves, and when they were done tidying up, then Rob came right afterwards. That may sound like a small thing, but trust me, for someone who is kind of a clean person, this is important to me.
The back of the house is really quite unique because when we first started doing the siding, we knew that Bolties wanted to do a sunroom eventually on the back of the home. So we made sure that when we tied everything in with the J-channel and stuff with the home, that we could all put it together when the sunroom was built. The roof line up here, we had a special tray built by the Dray Camp Heating Company, so we could guarantee that the roof line would never leak and she'd never have a problem. After we completed the roof and the siding, Rob Montie designed and started the project on the sunroom, which he constructed, did all the interior work, and then we came back and sided and roofed that part of it.
The building of the sunroom starts with excavating out for the foundation. And so we came back here and we dug out the ground and trucked the material away right away. We didn't want to leave it on the nice grass back here, and we just wanted to keep it out of our way. So we trucked out the excess and we used what was left over for backfilling. But we started with the foundation, and we actually poured the concrete to seal everything, the floor off, to make it nice and dry on the inside. We did that right from the get-go. Then we brought the carpenters in, and we framed in the sunroom and tied into the roof. And the really nice thing about working with Bob is he was here lickety-split on that roof, so we could get it covered and keep it dry just as quickly as he possibly could. So we didn't have to worry about weather getting into the main part of the house. It took us about, from start to finish, 3 months and 3 weeks. This project moved right along. We had all the selections ready. The Bolties were very conscientious about getting us the colors and the materials that they wanted incorporated into the job. We had it all from the get-go, so we were able to do it very quickly.
Film, because I changed, okay? Because I got to get out of here. But listen, I just wanted to say something. I know that you guys might dismiss the fact that Rob's so clean and tidy, but when I told my girlfriends that he came and he swept out that garage after his men were done, they were all impressed. And that's what counts. Because it was bad enough having to clean all the dust out of everything, but not having to cope with that. So
I'm Rob from Meridian Homes, and if you have need for a remodeling project, or an addition, you can reach me at 262-367-7003, or you can visit me on my website at www.builtbymeridian.com.
We're Stein Home Solutions. We're located out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Our phone number is 262-691-5999. During the day we are out doing the work. If you do call, please leave a message and you'll always get a return phone call.